Jeremy, you want to start us off again?
Yeah, so there's been a question as to who's running the alumni flag out. You want to tell us who's running it out, John?
Hey, Preston.
Preston points at you.
Well, that answers that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you to run the flag out today?
I mean, it's awesome. You know, it's kind of funny how it all took place between me and Bosco and Chad Lewis. I mean, it's kind of funny that it all came down. And, you know, when the decision was made, or when I was asked, Bronco leaving hadn't happened yet. The game against Utah hadn't happened yet. You know, so for me, it's kind of cool to have the chance for Bronco, the coach that became the coach when I was there, that, you know, helped turn the program around. And, you know, I had great expectations for my time at BYU, and really he was the guy that came in and allowed the program, because of the work that he put into it, and allowed me to meet those expectations. And, you know, and to be here with my son and to be able to run out, and he's going to join me today, I mean, that's just, you know, dream come true for me.
Kalani Sitake, the probable hire for BYU, according to multiple outlets.
John chuckles over here.
I know you're laughing.
I know too much.
What would he do for BYU's football program?
I mean, you know, I don't want to jump ahead to anything because, you know, to me, this is Bronco's last game. And, you know, I think as a fan base, we need to cherish all the work that man has done for us. Because, I mean, I think if fans just would be able to jump back in time and stand in a stadium or be on a practice field or be around the program back in 03 and 04, I think, you know, we'd all realize, holy cow, like, look how far this program has come because of the work that man has put into it.
Just consistency.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been great. You know what? And I think that, you know, the fans are going to miss him. But at the same time, you know, I think there's going to be some excitement for the next person that comes in. And, you know, I'm excited. And, you know, there's people that want to, you know, there'll be good things. There's good stuff.
Okay.
Johnny, there's been a lot of talk about what this atmosphere and crowd's going to be like because BYU bought up all the general tickets since they were announced before Utah. What do you think it's going to be like here today?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Utah will be well represented as well. I mean, you know, both, as John was saying earlier, both fan bases, you know, they want the win so bad. BYU seems to be more open about how badly they want the win. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot of people from both schools, so it's going to be kind of a little bit different dynamic than, you know, when you're playing in one's home stadium or the other. So, you know, loud the whole time, I guess.
Johnny, let's keep this next question and start it with you, and then we'll ask John. But what were your nerves like going into BYU-Utah games, and what do you imagine the players on the BYU sideline are feeling right now?
Hopefully they're not feeling too many nerves. I don't know. I mean, I just kind of, what my whole routine was, I would just, you know, go to the stadium. I'd be listening to some music and stuff, and you know, just kind of relax, not really think about the game. It's like your preparation is pretty much, you're not going to do anything new, really. You know, your preparation is done for the week. You go to the stadium, and I would just kind of go through and, you know, you warm up your muscles, warm up your body, get ready to go. And then when we run out before the actual kickoff, that's when I would kind of like just start psyching myself up, get the adrenaline going a little bit. And but, you know, you just got to kind of balance that. You got to stay even keel a little bit because, you know, getting too pumped up is not helpful either. So it's just a balance that you have to strike to reach that high performance. And, you know, it's just kind of just a balancing act to be able to do that. And the more experience you have, you're able to kind of get into a routine that helps you get there. And so, you know, we'll see what their nerves are like. But I felt like by that time in my career, I was pretty good in getting in my routine and being able to handle that.
How different is the players' experience now, John, where they could sit there and be on Twitter, they could listen to any song they want? You know, I remember getting back from my mission in 04, being like, what's an iPod? What, you know, it's different now for these guys.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and there's a lot more. You know, I think it was easy back in our day. You know, you just stay off your computer and don't read the newspaper, and, you know, you're not going to hear anything. You know, but nowadays you carry your mobile phone with you wherever you go, and if you follow people on Twitter that are making statements or saying things, it pops up. So, you know, I think it's a little bit tougher for these guys to stay away from the distractions. They probably have to be a little bit better trained. You know, the thing that I learned through my experience of the Utah game, and it's happening now this year, it always happened at the end of the season. It was always game 12, or, you know, so you've done it a lot. You've played in a lot of games as the season's gone on. You've gone through your routine. Just stick to your routine. You know, in 2005, I think there was kind of this big emphasis made on the Utah game, and guys came out a little too hyped up, a little too excited, and I could feel it on the sideline. Like, okay, we're kind of a little too hyped. There needs to be a calmness. You know, defensive guys can get hyped, but especially on the offensive side of the ball, just stay calm. You've played in 12 games already. Stick to your routine. Stick to the game plan. You don't have to try to do too much. Just go play football. And that's the balancing act, you know. And I think as long as you're confident in that, just be confident. Go play confident.
What would a win today do for BYU's football program in terms of impact moving forward?
Well, really, if we can get this win today, I think you took a season that, well, as soon as Taysom limped off the football field, everybody wondered, what now? When Taysom was healthy, we all had super high expectations. You know, I expected to see Taysom sitting at the Heisman thing on that show, you know, and all of a sudden he's down, Jamal's down, Tanner steps in. I'd heard a lot of really good things about Tanner, but I've been off a mission trying to play quarterback, and he's got a couple months of prep, and you wonder, how's this going to go? For BYU to go through the ups and downs they've had, to have the miracle games against Nebraska, to have that crazy finish against Boise, to have those games, and now we're sitting here possibly being able to finish with 10 wins. If this can cap off a 10-win season after losing the guys we lost, I'd say it would be an amazing season. I mean, a great one.
And what would it mean going forward for BYU, Johnny?
Well, you know, I think at this point with the rivalry, at least, it's been so one-sided lately that you know, hopefully a victory would, you know, just kind of bring it back to where it's something that people want to keep happening. Because it's like, you know, Utah at this point is kind of, you know, they, as John said earlier, they want the win, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, you know, we beat you guys like 5 times in a row already. Do you even want to play us? You know, so. You know, just bringing back that rivalry, making it a little more balanced so that, you know, BYU fans can have something to talk about. And, yeah, moving into like kind of the next, as it's Broncos' last game, you know, him getting a 100th win, sending him off with a win over Utah. I mean, you know, I don't need to explain like how important or how cool that would be, you know. So, you know, it's a huge game.
I don't know if either of you had the chance to see what Jerem and I recreated on this field yesterday.
I did.
The vine of Beck to Harline. Okay, yeah. Well, how would you rate that?
I mean, you guys did a pretty good job. Like, one question I had: did you hear? Were you guys trying to recreate it as it was being played, or you did it and it happened to time up that dang close to how it really was?
So well, it was one take.
It was one take.
It was one take.
One take.
We did it in one take. So
but
was there
like was there like a radio or somebody's iPod playing it? Or you just did it
into the phone, but we were away from it.
Wow,
yeah.
that was pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So trying to time it based on like the slight cadence that I could hear.
I was just curious. Did you guys like who was fighting over being Johnny, or were you guys fighting over who was being me? You guys wanted to be Johnny?
I related more to Orem High than I did Mountain View.
I've always been a quarterback at heart, John.
Well, here's the funny thing.
I did the DAP too. I don't remember you doing that, so that was a little additional.
Somebody sitting here makes me recreate it all the time. But I am when we recreate it, he makes me be Johnny, and he's me. And if I don't go down to my knees, he's like, "But Dad, Johnny caught it on his knees." So I'm like in the street, like, "All right, having to go down on my knees
and getting all dirty."
Yeah,
that's funny. How's your arm, Preston?
You talk a little louder. How's your arm?
Good.
He's wearing a Steve Young jersey.
Yeah, I text Steve. I said, "Steve, don't worry, buddy. We got you repped here at the game." Steve Young and all.
Well, John Beck, Johnny Harline, it's been great to have you on set. We appreciate you coming early, and go Cougars, right? I mean, what final statements from the two men?
Go Cougars, man. I'm excited for the game.
That sums it up.
Here's my thing. It feels right, doesn't it? Like sometimes, I mean, heck, the storyline, there's just too many things.
Royal jerseys.
There's just too many things.
It had to be this way.
There's just too many things. When I walked up today, I'm like, there's just too many things. You can't ask for a better way for it to all end and wrap up. So let's just go get it done.
Gotta win.
It had to be this way.